100 of the strongest contestants on the entire planet.
Hey, welcome back, guys. We got Beast Game Season 2 recap with Ty, Ian, and Briley. And, this is episode 3. So if you haven't watched episode 1 and 2, make sure you go back and watch those. And make sure you drop some comments, likes, and all that jazz to help us out. Because we're spending a lot of time giving you all the goods from the season here. So, so now we're on to episode 3. And episode 2 was a cliffhanger. Briley, what the heck? What happened?
Let's do it. In Jimmy fashion, right? Leaving us all on epic cliffhangers. So we got Mitch up top. We got Johnny up top. In the end, Johnny did what he had to do, obviously, made the last minute jump. His blocks were a little bit shorter, or not as tall, I guess. So he had more of a distance to go. So he was forced to make that jump because it did. Like Tyler said on our last episode at the end, that was not staged at all. That was in legit real time what happened. So Johnny had to make that jump, and in the end Mitch just had to reach up and get it. So congrats to that team and Corey for doing a very good job of his leadership and team picking skills. So right after that episode, or right after that challenge happened, basically Jimmy gave us 0 time, right, to form 10 teams of 5. We had 10. What was the time slot on that? Sporadic. It was very sporadic. In
minutes.
Minutes, right?
Minutes.
Yeah, he said it was 2 or 3 minutes. He's form your teams, and here come all the cameras swarming on us to catch the drama.
Yeah, again, on screen, we looked calm. It looked fairly calm, and it was a disaster,
Bananas.
a tornado. Everyone was running around sporadically, freaking out to find these teams of 5.
It was a little frantic.
Very frantic. But I think everybody kind of had the same mindset or thought process going in of a combo. We don't know what the challenge is, obviously, but we need a combo of strongs and smarts. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So we're huddled in that group. We're looking up at Jimmy as he speaks to us from the tower above, right? And now it's you have a minute or 2 minutes to choose groups of 5, and I'm okay, and it's go, and I look. And I don't know where you guys went. I feel like you were right by me, and then you're gone. And I'm yet again alone. I'm feeling like I'm in that white room again, and no one wants to be by me. And I'm like, well, actually, that's not true. So I did get approached. Ian, be on my team. In fact, Jeff, I passed Jeff's team, and they're like, Ian, it was Jeff, and
Sue.
I don't remember. Sue, Hannah,
Katie.
Ian, so someone wasn't in there yet. But I remember Jeff was in there. Ian, over here. And I look, and I'm like, no. And again, it was just because he was an OG. I'm sorry, Jeff. I love you to death, brother, but no. It had nothing to do with anything other than you're an OG, you're not in it yet. So then Briley ended up seeing you, grab you. Hey, let's go. I turned around. Enam and Omar, again, we need 2 smart people. Grab them. And now we've got 4, and by this point, everybody's scooped up. Everybody's taken, and at this point, Briley, you and I, you're what are we gonna do? There's literally nobody left, right? And so then I say, listen, we gotta go recruit. We gotta go get Ty back, So I kind of yell to you, Ty, come here. You come talk to me, and I do my pitch, which is brother, we've been together since day 1. This is our game. Let's ride or die. You know what I mean? And Ty, I'll hand it over to you at this point. Your thoughts and everything. And I will say, Eric was very gracious at that point when you came to talk to me. Had it been reversed and I was over there, I'd been like, Ty, what are you doing? I would have been pissed from the jump. Don't even walk over there. But he was very gracious at that point. And so, I'll pass it over to you.
It's just, it feels good to be wanted, just all these teams wanting Ty, the strong guy, on their team. Feels good to be wanted. I was just pulled in every which direction, and only one of y'all get to actually have me. Only one.
And that's Ian. Me, right? Your heart belongs to me.
He wrapped his beard up around me and just swooped me in. I was frantic at first. They said we had to form these teams, and my thought was I wanted to run over to where the 10 podiums were, and I was worried people were going to try to secure the podiums and mess up our teams, because there's some people in B City weren't doing like us and forming those bonds and teams. They were just going to be random each. I mean, there were people's strategy is just, I'm going to stay to the side and not form teams and strategize, and I'm just going to join these competitions randomly.
Yeah.
So I was worried some of those people may get on the platforms and secure them, and then we'd split up our team, right? So I went there first, and I think I was the only one that kind of thought that way, because everyone else was still back, like on the other side of the money.
Over there, it's like crickets.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You really went over there?
I was like one of the first ones over there, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get on my platform with like a team or something, and then nobody was around me. So
that's hilarious.
That's when I walked around and people were starting looking, and I think I get approached by some smarts, and I don't remember who it was exactly, but they were interested in me being on their team. I think Jack, maybe there was one of the Jacks and Smarts was talking to me, but I really had formed the bond with actually Eric and Vance and you and Bry. I felt the closest with y'all, and actually that was kind of an idea of a 5-person team was those two, y'all two, and me as a 5-person team.
But we needed 2 Smarts.
We'd mixed it up with some Smarts, and so I was just closer in location to Vance and Eric, and still standing next to them, and they started pulling, we got to find 2 Smarts, and we started pulling some Smarts. I didn't really like some of the Smarts that came over. There was one of the guys I always thought was a little odd.
You don't have to say the name.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the name. And I was like, man, if this is something like the whole team has to stand together and refuse money or refuse a bribe, I was like, I really don't trust that guy, and I wasn't feeling good about that. And then they ended up kicking that guy out. Like, he wasn't on their team, actually. He went somewhere else. Then you walked over, and I saw, and then, Omar and Enam are great dudes. I had met them a little bit before, and of course, you and Briley, I was like, man, that's a really strong team. Like, if I make that choice. So, it's kind of like self-preservation. And I felt, obligated to y'all as much as really the other two, so Eric and Vance. So I went what I thought was best for me, and also, I felt y'all were loyal and trustworthy. And so, I had to do what I thought was right for me. And I was really, like, I tried to be as nice as I could to Eric. Like, we hadn't even formed the whole 5 people yet, and he was still trying to grab people. So, we're talking about this all happened within just minutes,
Yeah. But more like seconds, I think.
Yeah. And we were scrambling.
Yeah.
And so, and I was trying to be nice. And then, Eric, of course, he kind of started stirring up a little drama with it, which was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I felt, of course, when you're torn like that, there's really no nice decision that I could make, right? You can't make everybody happy, so you just got to do what's good in your own interest in that situation.
Yeah.
I will say too, actually, what I thought I was close to, like I was thinking I was going to be on that all girls team, right? Because I got pretty close to, like, by that point, me and Sydney, bodybuilder Sydney, had gotten pretty close. Nikki. I wasn't as close with Ashley, but I was starting to get to know Ashley a little bit, and she was super close with Sydney, right? And I kind of got the boot from those girls. I kind of was like, oh man, really? My little heart. I just got booted from the girls, because I think they wanted some some smart people. So like they immediately like kind of pushed me in. I was like, okay, that's fine. It's fine.
Well, you had the last laugh on that one, didn't you? Yeah.
Where'd Ian go?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Come
happened
along,
too.
afterthought.
No. Well, we me and Sydney had been like kind of close for the last like 4 or 5 days. We were getting close. So like, it was obviously it worked out the way it did. Like I was fine. I was like, I totally get it. Like I understand. But in my head too, I was like, shit, you guys, I think we need some guys here. Like,
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, this challenge, we had still not known each other very long either, So I think this challenge is one of the things that brought us even closer together, and trusting each other more for other challenges. So this is still part of the building of the 3-person team, right?
That's true. We going into this game, we kind of had a thought. There's 50 people left. We were thinking maybe, or at least I was thinking, it might be teams of 10. and like eliminate 20 people. That's what my thought was, so you're right, Briley. Like, I remember sitting down with you, Sydney, Tyler, the other Tyler, Eric, and like, hey, let's build something really strong here. The downfall to this is that we had one of the strongest teams of 10, period, that included all strong people.
Yeah.
And so you needed some smarts, to move forward and advance in this situation. So, is what it is.
Exactly.
Good thing is that, I had some good connections early on with Enam, and Enam was close to Omar. So it was really cool. I trusted Enam trusted Omar. They come to me, and we were happy to bring him aboard and play with them. It's really interesting, the conversations that I had with Enam. It was probably 3 or 4 times, and we had some good conversations. We talked about family. We talked about work. We talked about Ninja, and all roads kind of ended up, leading us to working together. So that was pretty cool. But okay, so now we have our team, and Jimmy's spinning the wheel, and first up you have Jacob and his team against who was it? Mia, right? And her team.
Yeah, Avery was on a team, on that one of the teams.
Yeah.
And
Avery Chandler. Yeah, they were the first to go.
And JT was on the other team, right?
Yeah. So they go first, and Avery unfortunately ends up falling. The teeters, right? We didn't know. No one knew if they stopped. Like, for all we knew, they went all the way. So you had to jump before it dunked you, and so he was jumping before it was all the way down. Again, no one knew. He was unfortunately the first one to hit it, the first one to go, and had he known that, 1,000% Avery would have made it through. Had he known that.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we're all in the city, and we get to watch it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Everyone who wasn't going, and we didn't have any audio, but we could see what was going on, and so there I was, like, learning as much as I could, watching the video, and seeing seeing how the obstacles react to the players.
Right.
And so it was definitely an advantage to see that first.
Yeah, and we're strategizing. We're talking about who we should go first. I think we talked about me going first, being a ninja warrior. Let me kind of set the stage, show you, like, right in front of you how to do it. So strategy started. We started talking there, but something unique is that we did not know the rules to the challenge at all. We didn't know the rules changed either.
Yeah.
Right. So we get in there, and it's like, we don't know what's going on.
Right.
And it was funny. Go ahead,
that's what I was going to say, is it was like we were able to watch it on the big screen, but because we had no sound, like everyone, because luckily we got to go last. Like, we were luckily and not unluckily, I think, but by the time we were last, we watched all 4 teams go first, but they were all different, right? But we didn't know what was going on, so it was, and on the big screen we couldn't see, because we were on the big screen, we were seeing it from the back, right? So we didn't get to see the board from the front where it showed the things. We saw the back of the boards. Like, we didn't understand that each team had a different set of rules, so it was like it just created extra confusion for all of us at that point.
Imagine how confused we were, because we saw the first one go and we're like, oh, we see what it is, and the second team goes and we're like, why did only one person go, or like why does everybody get to go? Because the last time, as soon as someone fell in, it was over. Like, and then after we saw like the third one, we're like, oh, they're changing the rules each time. They have to be changing the rules.
So you have Nick and August, and they end up getting the opportunity. They can take $100,000, and then they can share it, right? Which was a pretty cool option, but it would take some time to go from the perch down, around, grab the money, back up, and then go, and then you're carrying the bag, and we're about to talk about our run, and we're carrying the sticks. Carrying the sticks was cumbersome. It was bulky. It was, then where are my hands? I'm trying to hold, and it's wet. It's sandy. It's not ideal situation. So to then carry a big bulky bag of money, they went the safe route. I think their strategy, I don't know for sure, but I think it was, if we get enough of a lead, then someone will go grab some money and we'll bring it across. But it didn't end up lasting that long anyways. And then they win it and they do their flips into the water and celebrate, which was a cool moment for them.
Yeah, we didn't really understand. I didn't really understand the gist or the whole rule book on theirs, but watching it live, obviously we had no sound and we just saw money, so we're like, why is there money and why isn't anybody taking it? Like, why is it just sitting there, right? So it's like, but when you watch it on TV, I truly think they had time for one of them to go get it.
Yeah,
I do. But yeah, it would have been super hard. Obviously, when we went, we'll just jump into that, and we can talk about my piece of that after. But
so we're up last. We're going. Well, actually, let's talk about Tyler. We get essentially chosen / there was already some feuds building, and so the other teams were like, let's just let them battle it out. We'll let them have what they want, right? But let's talk about kind of that feud, because it got kind of intense on the platform.
Yeah, you can see in the video he said, well, it's really just 2 guys over there. And he pointed and they're like, who? And there's like Ian and Tyler.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they had us really talk up the drama. And, I was actually, and the drama is real. Like, I was actually getting a little upset with Eric because he was like a friend, And for me, it was like, man, he's really trash talking me and making me trying to look like a villain when he's like supposed to be a friend, and I wanted to work with him later on in the show, But of course, that wasn't going to happen because he made it where it was his team versus my team.
Yeah.
And so at that point, once he did that, it was like, nah, he's the enemy now,
Yeah.
And so I was gonna, and I don't let people walk over me. Like, I'm gonna stand up for myself and say my mind if he's gonna behave that way.
I mean, you got 5 times.
So yeah, I was actually a little upset.
Who is stupid enough to go against you, or like to no offense, I didn't mean Eric. I meant like on the street, if someone's gonna walk up to you and you're talking about defending yourself, anyways.
Yeah, well. We didn't know what the challenge was, but yeah, I mean, I guess I think no matter what the challenge is, if you can win something at a high level, like a world championship, it shows you can perform under pressure.
Yeah.
And I think that quality is something that it just happens. Once the pressure comes, it's like I zone in, I'm able to focus.
Yeah.
And it happens, and yeah. And you can see how that played out when they brought out the pugil sticks, right?
Yeah.
Or the jousting sticks, yeah.
So you had Eric kind of, going after you, and then you had, Vance, hey, ninja versus ninja, let's go. Jimmy was all into it. Have you ever, Vance, you've won twice. What about you, Ian? And I'd never gone against Vance. Nor on the regular season of American Ninja Warrior. I haven't competed on the regular season since 2017, so I haven't had that chance again to go and flex on the show. I've been on like the family episode, which is like it's like a special, its own entity.
What's funny is watching the show, I now realize like you had almost as much of like a little rivalry going on as I did, because you had a little drama too. Like we had Mike over there. I think he was being kind of friendly, but he was doing something like, I'm going to shave that beard and take it as a trophy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just being more funny, but you definitely had Vance, who he feels a little superior in the sport because he had won twice, and he had something to prove. He's the champion, and then, so I think I was so focused on just kind of Eric and me that, you also had your own things going on, and plus with Eric. So you actually had probably more feuds than I did. Like, you had because Eric's mad at you for stealing me.
Yeah.
And Vance, is your Vance is mad at you because you were a fellow Ninja Warrior, right? And then you had Mike, who you were close with, and so maybe you're the real adversary, of the other team, right?
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yes, I mean, we walk up and then we hear the rules to our game. Honestly, we got the shit end of the stick for games. Like, that one was the worst one of all 5 of them. But again, I mean, it's a game. It's a game at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do. And our strategy was, how do we get our team? Like, by the time the feud is going and everything, it was, how do we get our 5 people across? What's our best go at this to get us 5 across, right? And it was to use the sticks. Like, that is part of the game. Sticks are part of the rules. We are allowed to use the sticks, right? There was very strict rules with the sticks. Like, you weren't allowed to touch them. Like, if you were to use the sticks, like, there was no pushing and shoving with hands. It was sticks, and you couldn't even hit them with the sticks, right? It was just poking. Jabbing with the sticks was all you were able to do. But again, when we got to the top of it and the feud started happening, we were talking like strictly what is our best shot at getting us 5 across, and in the end it was using the sticks, right? Because if it was just head-to-head race, since you can't shove each other, like it would be the first 3 to make it, and so there was no chance at getting the last probably at least 2 of us through. So very strategized on the sticks. And if you listened to that episode, actually, like you can hear Tyler say, oh shoot, like he grabbed my stick, I lost my stick. But the goal was for Tyler to go shove Eric off and then just keep staying there, keep shoving people off until he no longer could, right? And then Ian would come in and do the same, right? But
that would have been epic if I could
so
have done
epic,
that.
right? And that was the goal, and it totally could have happened, right? Like, but you both got one. So if the sticks were,
I mean, Eric was the biggest boy. I mean, he was the biggest one. Like, those other ones would have been little baseballs.
Right. So I think our strategy was on point. It was just technical, right? Like at that point. So yeah, I think we had a good strategy going in. I will say to this day, there was one time I cried and they asked with our where whatever, but that was still like my biggest regret was like not being able to turn around and be like, I'm sorry you guys, because I went without my stick, right? Yeah. But it was like by the time I went, there was Ethan was already, halfway through the obstacle. He was number 4. So I was like, there's no point in me even grabbing my stick. So I dropped my stick. Even my boyfriend was like, where's your stick? And I'm like, I'm the 5th person and he's already half of the obstacle ahead of me. So I did, like, my heart was, if you see me cross, I think that's why they didn't really show me crossing the line either. I was like heartbroken more than anything. I was like, oh man, this sucks, but
So a little bit more to add to it. So when we first started standing up top and we don't know about the sticks, we don't know it's first 5, there's a lot of trash talk coming from the other side. And it's interesting. My wife, she goes, you didn't say much, and it was one of those, like, I was dialed in, I was in the zone, but it was almost like fuel. Like, I don't need to say much in that moment. Like, tensions were building, we had to, and then it's now we have the sticks, and we figure out it's final 5 or only 5 period, first 5, and so we had conversations on, do we drop the sticks and go fast? Do we, I think someone was talking about, do we do rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first? And then there was the conversation of, well, let's look at this as smart people, right? And strategy, and we want all 5 across, period. We want all 5. How can that happen? And the only way, and I think it was Omar's, like, you guys have to go get us there. You have to go knock them off. That's the only way we're all going to make it. And I took that seriously. Like, I was like, this is my mission. Like, I'm going to fight for this team, right? And initially the plan was for me to go first, but then, Eric called you out, Ty, and said, grab your stick, let's go. And I love it, Ty. You turned to me, you said, Ian, is it okay if I go first? Do I have your permission to go first? I remember you asking me, and I'm like, my man, like, go for it, right? You didn't tell me, it wasn't, let me do it. It was, hey, may I do it? My man, let's go.
Well, let's back up a little bit.
And I was totally confident in it.
Back up a little bit, though. Eric did not say, grab your stick, let's go. Eric was terrified of those sticks. He wanted nothing to do with those sticks.
So first he was terrified, but then once he realized that we were carrying sticks, then it was, all right then, let's go, right?
Yeah. So once we realized we're carrying the sticks, Eric did move into first position because he was initially going to go like 3rd, I think. If I'm not mistaken, the way they were lined up on the podium, you had Vance going first. Yeah, you had like Vance going first, then Mike, then Eric maybe. Or it might have been Vance and then Eric. Anyways, but then once Eric scooted up with his stick and went first, and we had done a little bit of the smack talk back and forth, Jimmy's loving it. And, I think I asked you at that point, it was like, let me take out Eric. I knew I could beat Eric, And if I could take him out, then I would be willing to post up and try to take every one of them out, right?
I got to tell you, you floated across that course. You were the most fluid ninja warrior with a battling stick I have ever seen. Though the circle ones, they didn't twist for you. They twist for me, and I'm like, what is happening? And you just like, like, bro, you were a gazelle, my guy, and you got there so fast.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I was so hyped. I'm like yelling, even at home, like I'm watching it here, and I'm like, let's go. Like, oh man, I was so hyped. Yeah. So good.
Man, well, I used to do lots of like dot drills, the ladder drills, from playing football, and we work a lot on in my sport of strongman. We work a lot on like foot placement, so you can be quick, shave off seconds on time. So you have to be coordinated, and luckily I'm not like a big super heavyweight strongman. Those dudes are like over 300 pounds. I'm only 220 pounds, so I can hop up and down those little obstacles. It's not too bad.
Keep that up. You got grid season coming.
Hey, I've been doing lots more volume. I've been adding some volume sets too, so the weight's lighter, but I got to do a lot of reps and grids, so I have to change my strength type.
I love it. So Ty, you make it across, he takes your stick, so then I have to go, and Vance, the second that Eric fell in the water, Vance took off, so he's ahead of me. I have the stick, I jump in, and Vance, to his credit, crushed it. He makes it across. And then I get to the Y. Here comes Mike, and it was game on. He gives me his pitch. I'm doing this for my family, and mind you, that really resonated with me. Like, it struck a chord in my heart. And I turned and I looked at you, and you can see it on the camera. I turn and I'm like not looking at him for a second because I'm looking at you, and you're like, "Let's go!" And I was like, "Oh yeah!" Like I had to snap.
I was like, "Knock him in the water."
Snap back into reality. Oh yeah, like this is a game. And he jumped at me. We had the battle. If you saw in the BTS, this was a very intense moment. The rules were hands on the stick only. Hands on the stick only. Not on. You cannot touch each other. You cannot grab and hold. You're falling. You fall because you're not grabbing on. So that was the rule. So he's jumping. He jumped pretty much like on the stick. It was like right as I like turned back around. And so I'm pushing and pushing. At one point, my hand falls off, and I reach back. I got to get on the stick. I'm not trying not to touch him. If you look in the BTS, so again, that's behind the scenes. It's episode 4. A lot of people don't, or episode 0, whatever. It's out right now, and a lot of people haven't watched it. But in the BTS, you can see the scuffle back and forth. It lasts a lot longer than what you saw in episode 3. He puts his hands on me. He gets me in a headlock. I escape from the headlock and lift the stick and push at the same time and push him in. But he was disqualified the second he put his hand on my chest, and then he put his hand around my neck, and he was out. So I didn't know that though. So I crossed the line, and I'm getting attacked verbally. Monica calling me a villain. That's what you guys saw.
You're a villain.
She wasn't the only one yelling. Everyone was pissed.
Everyone.
And a lot of them were pissed because they're like, you're taking out a smart. What you all don't understand, or for some reason, I don't know why you don't understand, is that I have 2 smarts that I'm fighting for back here. I'm trying to get across.
Yeah, and they have families and brothers and stuff too,
And it's all within the rules of the game.
So.
Guess what, Mike? You could have carried your stick. Guess what? Vance could have done? He could have carried that stick and waited for me.
Right.
Now that wasn't a good idea, but you could have done that, right?
Right.
So, at the end of the day, I make it across. I turn, I yell at you, Briley, go. And Ethan makes it across from the other team. You make it across, and that's a wrap. And same thing, Briley. Looking back and seeing Enam and Omar, and my heart just sinks.
And Ella.
I felt so bad. Yeah. I mean, Ella wasn't on my team. I feel bad for Ella. I feel bad for Mike, but you weren't on my team. I feel bad for Mom.
Right? That's the whole. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's like it sucks, but it's part of it. It is part of the game.
Right.
But
so then everyone comes up. We celebrate. We made it on. And I'm grateful to Jimmy, because they were still heckling when we got up there. People were pissed at me. And Jimmy goes, no, he had Ian in a headlock and was disqualified before that even happened, showed us the video. And then to especially, Tyler, military Tyler, he goes, hey, Ian, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. So credit where credit's due. But man, I was hot. Like, I've never been so mad in my life.
Yeah, well, no, remember, it actually played out because even remember at the top, it was actually very awkward when we took that photo of all of us that made it through, right? It was very awkward. Everyone was pissed at you, but no, remember when we got in the vans, because remember it started pouring as soon as we were done.
Oh my gosh.
Pouring, so we all sprinted.
Water drops like that big. I kid you not.
So we all sprinted to our vans, remember, but then Klitz came in to each one of our vans and say, look, like, this is what happened. Even if he would have made it across, he would have been eliminated because he did not follow the rules. He pushed and headlocked, so he would have been eliminated regardless. He was eliminated
Yeah.
before Ian even shoved him
Yeah.
into the water. So like Klitz came around and did the due diligence for everyone, like putting oh my god, like I felt so bad for you.
Yeah.
For a minute there, but you could
Thank
tell
you.
like the van immediately was like, oh wow, okay, as soon as that video was shown. So
Yeah.
they did a good job on like the due diligence of fairness and gameplay for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, and follow.
Mine was a little bit more cut and dry with Eric. He kind of like landed on the jousting stick, and I just kind of pried him into the water.
Yeah, and he had
This
his
is
stick
my-
too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he had a stick.
unfortunately, oh man, I just wish he didn't take your stick with him. Like,
I
he
know.
took it
I
home.
love that they put it. I love that they put it in the show that you could see. I wanted to
Yeah,
keep
you heard,
it.
Yeah.
you could hear it.
Yeah,
He
I was
said,
like-
oh, shoot, he took my stick.
Yeah. He took my jousting stick.
Yeah. So now our team of 5 with Enam and Omar. Now we have Ethan and Vance for the bribes. So I mean that's wild. Riley, what do you think?
It sucked to be in the middle of it, you know, because like I don't know Ethan at all at this point, right? So he was like, it was just a matter of chit-chatting it up with him and convincing him we're good people. We're going to fight for our teams always, right? No matter who's on it. Vance was the
Yeah.
tough one, obviously.
Yeah.
Getting through to Vance was the trick to that.
Yeah.
Getting him to trust Tyler, so it was fun.
Yeah.
I liked that game. I liked going into Bribe because regardless, we knew it was going to be me, you, or Tyler going in up there, you know, and I was like, we're fine. All of us are staying regardless.
Yeah.
So like I had zero worries about that.
Yeah, I'll add that the towers were there from the jump in the city. You walk in and you're like, oh, the towers. We're probably going to have the bribe tower. So we had all talked about it. And we had talked about bribes. And we had talked about having each other's back. And the 3 of us specifically had been very clear that that's just not an option for us. That if any one of us were up, and we're talking, what, 2 weeks now? And if any one of us are up, that we got each other's back. You know, so ultimately when we're on the platform, we have Ethan and we have Vance, and we give them the option. We say, listen, you have 3 to choose from here. Like, none of us are going to take it. Unfortunately, you guys are outnumbered. There's 2 to 3. So you guys aren't doing it. I love you, but no. One of us are. You can choose because we're that confident, you know? Ty, what do you think?
Yeah, that was our thought process. We were like, well, we're the winning team. We have 3 of us. There's 2 of you. And I was trying to figure out, you know, who it should be between the 3 of us. And I think I felt the closest at that time, you know, to Ian. I was like, man, I really trust Ian. And I know I trust myself. Like, I'm not going to screw y'all over. And so I think I looked at Briley and I said, how about you choose between me and Ian? And give, you know, because I wanted all of us to have some say-so about who goes up. We had to narrow it down.
Yeah.
And then Briley was like, I trust both of you. She didn't even choose between us.
Yes.
And then I think we kind of let Ethan and Vance be the tiebreaker.
Yeah, we did.
They were like, I think they ended up going with
I
me.
told them I would
Yeah.
go too,
You know?
but then, yeah, I think they were just like, I think you guys have more, at this point, have expressed opinions and
Yeah.
thoughts more than I had, you know? So I think their trust in me
Yeah.
was maybe a little less, but I offered, I
Yeah.
was like, I'll go up there. Like, I'm
Yeah.
100% confident in me and not doing anything to any of you guys.
Yeah, you would have been great up there too. I think you invested a lot of time with the other girls, you know, and all of them are gone. So, now you're with a team of
You're with the
boys, and we
boys.
gotta hope. Yeah, nobody.
I've always been one of the boys. It's fine. It works out better that way
Yeah.
for me.
Now remember, Ty.
Yeah.
Remember, Ty. This is episode 3, so nothing past episode 3. Okay, as we continue to talk get through this. So you get nominated, and I'm totally on board with it. And I'm like, my man, I'm not worried at all, right? So walk us through. You get picked, Vance. I think Ethan actually was like, let's go with Tyler. You know, he might have been a little salty. I mean, honestly, me and Ethan hadn't talked that much. I think we played poker together. In fact, I think you still owe me $50, bro. Not you, Ethan. So you're picked. Then what?
Yeah, and I'd played a couple of chess games with Ethan. He whooped my ass in chess. Like, he's pretty good. Yeah, I was picked, and you know, in my mindset was like, we might have to just delete all that.
Okay. Okay. Hey.
So I can't talk about my mindset.
Hey, we actually have to re-record what we just recorded because Ty dropped all the spoils. Okay, so Ty, you are now nominated to go up and be the captain for our team. Can you just give us some of the emotion, the thoughts? You know, they put you in the scissor lift. You go up. You're staring down at us. Talk us through some of that.
Man, I'll also talk about, I guess, looking at some of the other characters.
Like, Ty, you're done.
Well, I won't.
Okay, so we're re-recording this little piece right now because obviously Tyler was our captain, and he's a Bill.
He's a spoiler. He's talking about what happened. We're not talking about what happened.
Yeah, like we're not allowed to speak of it. So obviously he was one of the 5. So me and Ian will speak from being one of the
our perspective.
Yeah, from our perspective, and just like watching them.
I stood there and I may or may not have pressed the button.
There it is. Okay, now don't say another word.
Stop.
Okay, so Bradley up top, we got JT, Hannah, Jeff, Nick, and Ty.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So initially when that happened, I was not surprised at who all was picked, and actually I thought that it might go the distance.
Same.
You know.
Same.
I was like, this looks like a crew that wants to stick around. You know.
And if it didn't, Jimmy definitely said before that challenge started that.
Listen,
right?
Jimmy's pockets are deep. Jimmy's credit, he pulls out that envelope
right.
and he's reading everybody's whys on why they're up there. Jimmy, you sicko, that is brilliant.
Yeah,
that is how you get people to take money.
Brilliant.
You know?
I was imagining if I were y'all down there, I would have been like, "Shut up, Jimmy! Shut up! Like, quit making them think of home right now."
That
you
sucks
know?
to be up there now. Like that's a brutal way to have to go into this challenge. But whoever pushed the button, you guys just know it could have gone more than $1 million. Obviously, the spoiler or the cliffhanger is someone pushed it at $1 million. And in my head, I was like, "Dumbass! That thing was clearly going over $1 million."
I mean, okay. Well, I guess we'll talk about it in the next one. But what a cliffhanger, and everybody is itching for the next episode. I'm itching to see it. I'm excited to see the end of the bluff game and what's going on next from there. So. Again, if you like the series, if you like what we're doing, make sure you like and subscribe and tune in. We're trying to give you guys good content, good behind the scenes of Beast Game Season 2. Being able to share the experience together was unreal. Now being able to talk about it together after the fact, I mean, we've had to be quiet for 6 months. It's refreshing. Finally, we can speak about it, and we want to be able to tell you guys all about it. So if you like it, make sure you let us know about it. But Ty, Bry, you got anything else?
I think that's it.
No, man, it's been fun. I think, man, episode 3 was really fun. That's been my favorite episode so far.
Yeah.
And hopefully, as it narrows down to fewer people, it kind of gets more and more interesting as you get to kind of know the characters and stuff too.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say, hey, Mike, you did not take my beard as a trophy. I still got it.
Hey, Ian, you gonna shave that beard if you lose?
Ooh. We're not gonna lose.
I want that beard as a trophy, Ian.
Want that beard as a trophy, Ian.